This is Kiki's talk. She's on the rise. She's got the tea from day till night, discussing music, news, and so much more. You gotta listen to what she's got in store. It's Kiki's talk.
Hey everyone! How you guys are doing? I hope you're having a blessed, amazing Wednesday. Today is January the 24th, 2024. And I am just so, each day I'm trying to implement a routine for myself where I am going to learn how to focus on my blessings, what I currently do have, and not focus on the things I do not have. I do think that is so important. I know so many people were, and me included at times, because I'm guilty of this, but we get in a habit and we focus on the things we don't have, and that can affect our life and make us be so fixated on the things we don't have, and it causes us to stress. It causes us to even sometimes be bitter, and we don't, I shouldn't say we, but I'm gonna say me. I don't want to live like that. I want to focus on the things I do have, because the things I do have, there's someone else can really say that they do not have that, and so there's times where we need to be focused on what it is that we do have, and be grateful for that, and be blessed, and look at it as a blessing. All right. And always thank God, thank Jehovah for what we do have. It is important for us to do that. So I just want to say that, and I definitely wanted to start this podcast episode off by saying that I think that is so important, that we just do that. It's a must. It's a must, and you will see a major difference in your life if you start trying to live your life that way. Live your life where you are just focusing on what it is that you do have, and just, even if you have to write that down, because a visual sometimes is even more better, being able to write down what you have and visualize what it is that you do have. Be grateful for that. You have a roof over your head. Look at that as a blessing. Look at that as a win. Okay, because there's so many people out there that does not have a roof over their head, and they are struggling, and they're trying to fight to survive, and they have to always worry about where I'm going to sleep next. And this is true story, y'all. There's people really out here. This is true facts. People are out right now that does not have a home, that they are stressed and worried where they're going to sleep next. Not only for themselves, but maybe even for their loved ones, people that is with them, their kids, worrying about, okay, where are we going to sleep next, So just keep all that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you have a roof over your head, that's a blessing. If you have food on your table, that's a blessing. If you have transportation, that's a blessing. There's so many people out there that does not have that. And if you're so fixated on focusing on the negative, focusing on what you do not have, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. It's not healthy as far as mindset go. It's not healthy. So stop fixating on the things you don't have, and focus on what it is that you do have. That is it. That's all I want to say on that note. All right. So moving on, today's episode is going to be about mastering consistency, achieving greatness in direct sales, consistency. All right. So that is what we're going to talk about today. I did a blog on this whole episode regarding this. All right. You can find me on Medium. I said it in my other episodes, on my podcast episodes, but you can find me on Medium. Medium is a platform where writers can go on and do blogs. They can do poems. They can do short stories. you can pretty much do what it is that you want to, write about and talk about. And you all you have to do is create an account if you are if that's an interest to you, that you do want to start writing. Then definitely Medium is the platform that I highly recommend that you get on and start doing your writing. All right. And then you don't have to, and I said this in the past, but you do not have to go on Medium or create an account on Medium just to become a writer. If you want to be just a reader, someone that reads different articles, then you can definitely do that. All right. So I don't want you to think that just because you don't write, that you can't create an account on Medium. That is far from the truth. You can definitely still create an account on Medium and just read a ton of articles, poems, whatever it is that you want to read. All right. So I just want to say that. All right. And you'll be shocked as to how many people are literally on Medium right now doing just that, doing just writing about the things that they love, writing about the things that they want to talk about. It's soothing. I mean, I really feel relaxed when I get to write the things that I want to say, things that I'm thinking about, and expressing myself. I love it. So that's what I want to say on that note. All right. So I am going to dive deep into this. But before I get started, another thing that I want to say is I'm also going to let you, my listeners, to listen to a video training, and it is specifically about direct selling. All right. And the reason why I want to touch on direct selling, just because that is the field that I'm into, direct selling. And I absolutely, I do love it. But I'm going to be honest, there's times where I feel defeated at times. I'm just going to be really honest. I do. And if I feel this way, I know there's a ton of people out there feel exactly like me, right? And so I wanted to do this. I wanted to start diving more deeper into like sales overall. So if you are a business owner, or you someone that have been doing dive kind of a little bit deep into direct selling, and you've been doing this, it doesn't matter if you've only been doing it for a week. You can be doing it for a week, you've been doing it for a month, you can be doing it for years. All right. But if you've been doing this and you do feel like you could do better, or if you feel like that you're not that you're struggling, if you feel that way, then you are welcome to start listening to my podcast, just because I am going to dive really, really, really deep into direct selling. That's something that I'm going to start doing, and I just want to touch on that. I'm going to touch more about sales and how you can start, ways on how you can start seeing results in your business, and yeah, so that's kind of where my mindset is towards that. I just want to kind of start taking my episodes and kind of just start talking a little bit more about selling and in different ways on how you can start seeing results in your business, and hopefully you actually will. All right, by the time you watch but listen to all my episodes. I'm saying watch because there are probably times where I will actually do videos as well, but for the most part, just listening, being able to listen to my episodes, and hopefully being able to hear some gems. Hopefully you would definitely be inspired, and hopefully be able to take that with you in your business journey, and being able to actually utilize it and start seeing results. All right, that's the whole purpose behind all of that. So yes, I am reaching out to business owners. If you're out there and you are struggling, you are not happy at where you're at, and you want to grow, and you want to see better results in your business, then definitely start listening to my episodes. Like I said, I truly mean what I say. I'm going to start touching on this more and more, and yeah. So now, enough talking. Like I said, I do have a video training about where her name is. Well, first of all, let me just say this. So Jennifer Enlow, she is a true gem. All right, and the reason why I say she's a true gem because of the fact that she took the time, and she didn't have to do this, and she's not getting paid to do this. But what she is doing is she took the time to go create video trainings on YouTube, asking different speakers if they will, get on, tell their story, tell their basically their story of and talk about what their experience has been in direct selling. What is some things that, some tips that they can give to other people if they have been excelling or scaling their business, they've been doing good, seeing results. What is some tips that they can provide people that are not having such good results, or maybe you are, but again, even if you are, you can always learn more, you can always grow more. All right, so there is no such thing as, oh, I'm doing so good, I don't even need to know more. Yes, you do. You always learning. As long as you're breathing, you are always learning. You can always learn. All right, so I want you to keep that in mind. All right, but Jennifer Enlow, she is such a gem. All right, like I said, she didn't even have to do this, but she is doing this, and a lot of people are learning. I am learning. I get such I don't know what's the word. I get such I guess I just be really happy when I get such a learning experience when I'm watching these videos, and every new video is every Thursday for a new video if you want to participate. But her name is Jennifer Enlow. You can find her on YouTube. All right, so she's the one that took the time to make these trainings. Okay, free trainings, y'all, free trainings. Okay, so hint, free trainings. So you are going to be listening to one of the videos, and it's actually I can't see where it's dated as, so I don't really know. But Melina Givens, Melina Givens, she's the speaker that is going to be talking in the video. All right, she's pretty much, I just love hearing her. She's a phenomenal lady as well. You can hear just how transparent she is and how real she is, how authentic she is. You can hear that. You will hear that for sure when she's telling her story. And I hope you find value in her story. But she's phenomenal. All right. And again, authentic. You will hear that. And, yeah. So I'm going to, go ahead and move forward and start reading my blog, all right, with you guys. Like I said, I'm going to reread the title, but it is Mastering Consistency, Achieving Greatness in Direct Sales. Consistency, all right? So just remaining consistency is really the key, y'all. And that is something that I do struggle with, and I think so many other people struggle with, because I hear so many people say they struggle in this. Remaining consistent is so vital in your business. So vital. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with just reading my blog. Hopefully you'll find value in my blog, okay? So it's the glue that holds everything together. It's the X factor that separates winners from losers. It's consistency. The most valuable trait in any business, especially direct sales, being in an industry as the word I'm trying to say, static, as this can lead to losing sight of what you need to do next. All right. And when you cannot move forward, neither can your company. Learn why mastering consistency is so crucial and how you can start doing it today. All right. So just being able to figure out how you can remain consistent. So if whatever it is that you do in your business, the routine you do, are you consistent in that? Or do you do it whenever you think of it? Or maybe you do it occasionally? So the real question is, are you really working your business? Do you have a schedule where you are actually working your business? And if you can honestly say, not really, then that's a problem. I mean, it really is. So that's something to think about. Okay, so why goals matter. You have heard it's a, well, you have heard it's 1,000 times before. Set goals. But how does that help anyone? There's actually more to it than just writing something down and moving on with your day. Goals are meant to be achieved after all. If you, let me say that over, sorry. If what you are reaching for is impossible or even too far-fetched, then you will never make it. To beat this, all you have to do is make sure they are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Smart. Instead of saying, I want more sales, say, increase my monthly sales by 20% in the next 3 months. Being able to showcase progress will push you even harder. All right. So I even do this. So when I'm talking to people all the time, to students, or just to give my advice, I'm constantly always saying set goals, always set goals. And I even say you definitely need to come up with solutions to those goals. Like, you need to be able to know how you're going to take action, because that's important. I do say these things. But sometimes if you hear someone telling you set goals, make sure you're setting your goals. Make sure you're setting those goals. If you're hearing someone say these things to you, and you go ahead and just write the goals down, sometimes that's not specific enough. Sometimes, if you're listening to a coach, or you're listening to your mentor, or whoever you're listening to, sometimes, it needs to be, they need to tell you that you need to go a lot further than you just writing down some goals. All right. Because, you can write down the things that you want all day long, but you got to be very detailed as to what you want from those goals. Like one example that I did give. All right. So, saying that you want more sales, that's good. I mean, you wanting more sales, that's great, but that's not specific. You need to be very specific as to how you want more sales. So another example you can give is increase my monthly sales by 20%. Or you can say, I want to increase my sales by 50%. Now, if you want to go more detailed in that, you can say that, I want to be able to, I want to start making $5,000 a week, or $5,000 bi-weekly. That's even detailed. That's even more detailed, because now you're saying you're writing down the amount of money that you want to start seeing in your business. All right, whether if you want to see that on a weekly basis, if you want to see that on a bi-weekly basis, if you want to see that per month, that's like entirely up to you, because you are the owner of your own business. All right, so you're your own boss. So you do get to dictate as to how much money you want to see. Now, once you write these things down and you are very, very detailed, the next thing you need to do is actually start going as far as figuring out how can you get there. How can you start actually making $5,000 per week? What are some things that you can do? Okay, that's part of solution. Okay, so you trying to figure out the solution to this. How can I actually make this a reality? All right, and then you figure out how can you make that a reality. What are some things that you can do that you have not done in the past? All right, so these are things that that I hope that that you can take with you after you get done listening to this podcast. All right, so the next thing is having a routine erase confusion. All right, having a routine erase confusion. Sure, you might be working hard, but if there isn't structure in your day, then what's the point? You don't know where you are going if there isn't a road ahead of you. A routine is needed so that every action has a purpose. Think about what led up to your highest accomplishment this far, and start doing those things more often. I promise they were not random, and no matter what makes sure each day consists of one activity from this list: prospecting, following up with clients, or working on a personal development. All right, so when you're working your business, and when you have those high points where you were able to make, say for an example, you was able to make $3,000 one month, all right, and if you were able to accomplish that, now you need to ask yourself, because if you made 3,000 one month and then the other months was a big flopping, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out some numbers, it was just maybe $300 at best, you got to ask yourself, okay, so February I was able to make $3,000 that month. How was I able to do that? How was I able to accomplish that? You need to go back and figure out and do your research. What is it that I did differently that I can start doing all the other months, like for all the future months ahead, all right? So I bet you will find out that you worked it harder. You might have started following up with people more that month. Maybe you went out and did more of a face-to-face type of situation where you went to different public places and you started just promoting your business more and started having conversations with people. Whatever it is that you did differently, I bet you will find that out. And once you do figure that out, what you did differently, then start utilizing that for your in the future, so you can start seeing the results. All right, so I'm just using examples here, y'all. All right, but you have to know how far you want to go in your business. You have to know how much money you want to make in your business. Only you can dictate that. Only you can have control of that. No one else can control that but you, because it's your business at the end of the day. I mean, it's no one else's business but your business. And if you want to scale up in your business, then you have to make that decision and actually mean it. You can't just say it, but you have to mean it. How do you mean it? It's by taking control. You take control of your business. You start saying, I want results. Okay, this is what I need to do to get these results, and actually produce those results. You produce by working. You can't just sit on your behind or sit on your couch and say, "Oh man, I wish I was making 5,000. I wish I was making 10,000. I wish. I want that for my business." I mean, if you want it, then you're gonna have to work it. And true, no one really wants to go out talking to nobody, right? We don't. I mean, there's so many people I heard that say they do not like it because they get scared. I get scared, y'all. I do not like talking to people. I never have really liked doing that. But if you want to start a business, and especially if it's involving direct sales, then guess what? It is all about connection. It is all about building relationships. You can't build a relationship with no one if you're planning on not speaking to nobody. All right? I mean, you just can't. You can't sell your product if you're planning on not talking to people. The only way you're selling your service and your product is if you are communicating with people, promoting your business, telling people about your business, and also, selling your product, talking about your product, letting people know about your product, all right, and your service. Otherwise, they won't know nothing about you if you're not speaking about it. And one thing that I like to say is no one can promote your business as good as you. All right, so remember that. All right, so if you're expecting someone else to go out there and say, such and such, she does this, she's very good, which is nothing wrong with if someone is actually doing that for you, but only you could promote you really, really good. All right, so remember that you can do a better job than anybody else can. Why? Because it's your business, and you know more about your business than anybody else. All right, because it's your business. And I'm just being very honest about that. It is your business, nobody else's business but yours. All right, so yes, I mean, you can have your siblings, you can have your parents, you can have your cousins, you can have your BFF to promote you, and that's good. And I think that's something that you can ask your family to do and your friends to do. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you need to have that mindset to realize that you can promote you better than anyone else can. All right, than anyone else can. All right, and you have to own it, and you have to show it, and you have to be uh proud of your of whatever it is that you're selling. All right, because people can read that if you just, if you sound like, oh really, see, I sell this cup here, this tumbler cup. I'm selling this tumbler cup. It's $5. It's purple. I mean, it's leak proof. People can hear how you sound. If you don't sound motivated and you don't really sound like you're really like the product you're selling, people is going to see that. They're going to hear that. All right. So remember that. All right. Remember that people are watching. They may not look like they're watching you, but they are watching you. All right. I can't stress that enough. All right. Sometimes, and I'm including me, I feel like sometimes I feel alone, and sometimes I do feel like that no one really cares, about what I'm selling. All right. I mean, I have those moments where I feel that way, y'all. But you have to remember, people is out there watching you. All right. Because as soon as I'm thinking no one's watching me, I get messages. I get messages asking me, "Are you okay? I haven't heard from you. I haven't saw you on Facebook in a while. I haven't seen you make a video. I haven't seen you make a post." Y'all, people is watching. People is watching. You may not think nobody's watching you. People is watching you. All right. So remember that. I just want to say that because we all get in that habit, and I'm guilty. That's why I'm being very transparent here, and that's why I feel the need to say this, because if I feel this way, I know there's a ton of other people out there feel the same exact way. Like, no one's really caring about my business. No one's really watching me. No one pays attention. No one's responding to my posts. No one. Yes, y'all, maybe they're not, but they're watching. They're looking. And guess what? A lot of people, and this is their mindset, they'll look all day, all right, and not comment. All right, but that doesn't mean they're not intrigued. They're not. It may not mean that they're not interested. All right, maybe it's more about they're scared, and if it's not about that, maybe it's about they're busy. I mean, they're at work. Maybe when they're on social media, you gotta keep that in mind. Maybe they're driving. Sometimes people, which you shouldn't be doing this, by the way, but you're at an intersection light. What the first thing you do when you're at a light? Sometimes people grab their cell phones and they go. The first thing they think of is social media. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they're on there. All right, and they're scroll. What's the word I'm trying to say? They are going through their timeline. Okay, going through their timeline, and they maybe they do come across your posts or whatever, but don't have the time to respond to the post. By the time they do whatever it is they have to do, they've forgotten all about your posts. They forgot all about and they might have meant to say something, they might have meant to comment, but they forgot about it because they got busy. I mean, because they have a life also, and whatever it is they have going on with their life. All right. So just keep all of that in mind. Sometimes it's not really just all about you. It's not about someone not liking you. It's not. All right. It's more about a lot of other people have a ton on their plate, and a lot of times they just forget to respond to you. They forget to get back with you. Or as far as you making posts on your profile, and you feel like people is not responding, maybe they're not, but don't look at it as that you're not that people's not interested. They are, and they're looking, and they're watching. All right, and I just want to say that. All right. So moving forward. Get creative with motivation. So running any business is tough work, but running a direct sales business now that you will test even. Let me re-say that. Sorry. Now that you'll test even the best entrepreneurs. Sure, there's highs, but the lows are even worse. So before you give up, find ways to stay motivated. Attend industry events, read motivational books, or connect with others in your shoes. And if that does not do it for you, then try setting small milestones to reach along the way. When you have something to aim for instead of just a vague end goal, things seem much more possible. All right, y'all. This is true. All right. I'd rather for you guys to set small milestones to reach along your way than to aim for high and then you set yourself for failure. All right, because we all guilty, again, including myself. We set goals, and when we fail at those goals, what do? What is the first thing we do? We feel like, oh my goodness, it didn't work. Am I a bad seller? Should I even be in this business? Should I do something different? We start getting all these negative thoughts in our head. And don't even let me get on when you start talking to other people in your circle, or just overall about the things that you're going through. Then they're in your head now. They're telling you, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe this is not for you. Maybe you should do something different. So when you hear that, that just makes you even more depressed, more like, oh my goodness, maybe they're right. Maybe they are right. Maybe I should do something entirely different. And that's how we round up quitting on ourselves, y'all. We start quitting, and maybe it's not really you listen to someone else. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you are your biggest sabotage. You sabotage your own dreams. All right. And so we got to remember to not do that. All right. When we start something, we need to do it. We need to finish it all the way. All right. And keep going, especially if it's something that you wanted to do. All right. If it's something that you truly was passionate about, keep your passion going. Keep that candle lit. All right. Keep that candle going. All right. Don't quit. It's not going to be easy. Who said it was going to be easy? I hope no one promised you that. I hope no one came around and told you, oh, this is easy peasy. I hope not. All right. When you're doing a business, starting your own business, when you are your own boss, it's not going to be easy. It's not. You're going to have some bad days. You're going to have weeks probably. Well, I won't say weeks. Well, it's possible that you could have weeks where there's no money coming in. All right. But even if that's true, I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep fighting. I want you to keep going. Why? Because if this is something that you wanted to do, then I want you to keep going. I don't want you to give up. I don't care how bad it seems. I want you to keep going, and don't quit on yourself. No matter what, don't quit on yourself. All right. That is important. All right. And as far as reading motivational books, I think this is so true. You should read motivational books. You should listen to audio books. That is crucial. I think listening to different podcasts is going to be very helpful. But just being able to keep your mind motivated. You need that. You need that to keep yourself going, because if you're wanting that in a friend, you're not going to get it. I'm just being very honest about that. And what I mean by that is because their mindset is not where your mindset is at. I mean, especially if they're not an entrepreneur. I mean, they can't relate to the things that you have to do versus what they have to do. I mean, if they're still working their 9 to 5, where they're, getting up, taking a shower, brushing their teeth, getting their clothes on, rushing out the house and go to their 9 to 5 job, versus you staying home, and you have to create that same structure for yourself as far as creating a time schedule as to what you're going to do at different time points, and whether you accomplish being able to do that. Because keep in mind, you're at home, so there's a lot of distractions at home. All right. There's TV, which hopefully you don't have your TV on when you're working your business, but there's TV that could become a great distraction. The telephone, I probably should put telephone number 1 actually. The telephone is a great distraction. The reason why I say it's a great distraction, because you get all these phone calls, whether if it's family, friends, spam calls, you name it, you're getting it. All right. And And at times that can definitely be a major distraction as far as you working your business. All right. What else? You got basically the odds are high as far as getting distracted on working your business when you're at home. So you have to remember to remain structured and try to figure out ways on how you can be successful at working your business without these distractions, without someone distracting you. All right, you have to, because again, your odds are a lot higher as far as not being able to work your business because you are at home. And at home, there are major distractions all around. All right, I just want to say that because that's so true. So their mindset is not where your mindset is if you are trying to talk to someone that is not an entrepreneur. And we all guilty of this, including myself. We talk to different people to get their advice, but they're not on your level. They're not, and it's not their fault. I mean, they're not on your level. They just not. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean it as that they can't possibly relate to your to the struggles that you're having as far as why you're having so I don't know, so much of a hard time and struggle with your business. They can't relate to that because their life is completely different. They're either, like I said, working their job, their 9 to 5, all right, or maybe they're not working at all. But again, they're not on your level, and you can't get mad at them for that. All right, I mean, if they're giving their opinion as far as telling you that that maybe you shouldn't do this, especially if you're talking to them and you're telling them your struggles and you're telling them, because they're honestly thinking that they're giving you the best advice, especially if you're telling them that you're struggling, that you're not seeing results, that you sometimes feel like you should quit. They feel like they're helping you by telling you that, you know what, I think you're right. I think you should. I think that you should decide not to do this. I think you should do something different. Because they want, at the end of the day, they look at it as they want to see you happy, and they see that you're not happy, and so they're giving you their opinion of how they feel. I mean, it is what it is. So, with all that being said, you need to, when you're having these these self-doubts about yourself, and if you you are at a place where you feel like you shouldn't continue your business, you need to talk to someone else that's in your shoes, that they are an entrepreneur as well, that maybe you need to talk to someone that's actually currently in your business. All right, if they're in your direct sales company, or if they're in whatever company that you are selling the product and service to, you need to talk to those people, because those people can relate to you. Those people can honestly give you their advice, and they can honestly tell you give you their tips and advice and things that based off of their experiences. So I feel like that those are the people that, if you're trying to get advice from, those are the people you should get advice from, and not people that that's not in your field. I mean, I'm just being honest with that. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to speak negative about people's family and friends and stuff like that. I'm just really trying to let you guys realize that they're not on your level. They're just not. They're not doing they're not doing what you're doing. I mean, let's just put it point blank. They're not doing what you're doing. So they're thinking and they're feeling like they're helping you by giving you those advices. All right, and sometimes it can frustrate the heck out of you when they give you those advices, but they only give it to you because of the fact that you're telling them your experiences. You're telling them you telling them how you're feeling, and you're telling them your self-doubt. You're telling them your struggles, and they feel like, okay, this is what you should do because this is how they see it. They see like, okay, the solution to this is to get out. I mean, if you're not happy, get out. So that's why they give you that type of advice, because they see that if you're not happy, then the best thing it is to get out. You're not going to find them telling you that, yeah, you should stick it out. I mean, it's weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, because it can be very possible. I mean, you may have some people in your life that will push you, and they might not even be an entrepreneur at all, but they still might push you anyway and say, nope, you're not quitting. You're going to go ahead and do this. I mean, you may have people in your circle that will actually do that, and they're not entrepreneur. And that's great if you do. But I'm just saying, for the most part, you are going to have family and friends that will just tell you to, yeah, you just need to quit. You need to quit and move on. Do something different. Whatever it is that you need to do, just do it. They're not going to encourage you to stay, because you're telling them that you're struggling. You're telling them that you're not happy. And of course, no family or friends is going to want to see you unhappy. They're not. They're gonna give you advice as far as telling you to get out if you're not happy. All right, because that's common sense. I mean, we are taught at the end of the day, if you're not happy in something, get out of it. I mean, so that's why they feel like that's the best advice to give you. All right, that's what I want to say regarding that. All right, I'm gonna move forward, but yeah, let's see here. What else I want to touch on? So, progress equal results. Have you ever tried to remember something someone told you hours ago? It's pretty hard, right? Well, now think about trying to remember everything going on with your business 24/7. It'd be impossible to track whatever it is important, like sales, customer interactions, and other things relevant to your business. This will keep everything organized and show you exactly where things need work. And when these moments come, make adjustments ASAP. Okay, so again, progress equal results. Okay, so you have to remember that you're not going to remember every single thing, because again, you counting on yourself. You are your own boss. So you have to remember that you're not going to remember every single thing. So it's important to try to track and write down things. All right, and how you do that is by you would definitely should get a planner. So if you do, like, if your business is the type of business where you booking appointments, then you definitely want to make sure you're writing those appointments down. You don't want to rely on your brain to just to remember that. All right, I don't care if you are the best, you have the best top memory. All right, don't count on that. You need to write stuff down. All right, because again, you're your own boss. That means you have a ton on your plate. All right, and so if you haven't hired on one to help delegate a lot of the responsibility off of yourself, then you have to realize that you're going to have to be organized, and you're going to have to start making sure you are writing things down, writing times down. If your business is related to booking, scheduling and booking appointments for so you can schedule appointments with people. What else I want to say? Conclusion, right? I'm on my conclusion now. When it comes to success in direct sales, you need to be consistent. Consistency is what will push you through the finish line. Set goals, develop routines, stay motivated, and be accountable for your actions. You do not have to be perfect, though. Just show up every day and give it 100%. Trust me, you will see results when you start giving your all each day. All right, I hope that helps. All right. I wanted to, I felt like I needed to touch more on certain things, but I did not. But I hope you found value in what I was saying overall. All right. I am going to go ahead and move forward. We're going to do the video training that I was talking about, with, it is called Lunch and Learn, y'all. That's the training. It's a free training. So if you are like in direct sales, or if your business, everyone's business if you're in a selling business, I guess that's what I should say. If you're in a business where you're selling products and service, then I highly suggest that and recommend that you do check out this on YouTube. Check out the Lunch and Learn, all right, because it can benefit you, and I believe highly that you will start seeing results in your business if you start trying to educate yourself and hear what others have to say, because I mean, I feel like we have a tendency where we can start struggling just because we do feel alone, we feel isolated, and to keep from feeling that way, then you need to have your video. I said video. You need to have your brain where it's getting a ton of education, all right, ton of knowledge, you need to be able to surround yourself with other people, all right, and be able to learn more about your business, learn more about things, ways and tips and of how you can scale in your business, all right. So I just want to state that, all right. So like I said, Lunch and Learn, that's the name of it, Jennifer Enlow, all right. So the video that we specifically going to be listening to, it is called Melina. Well, I say it's called. Sorry, it is with Manina Givens. All right, that's the name, right? So just stay tuned, and I will be back. All right, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, so I am back for my second half of the episode. So hey, so guys, so before we get into it, where I let you guys listen to the video training that I was talking about with Melina Givens, I wanted to let you guys know that I do have a Instagram specifically for the podcast, Kiki's Talk. All right, so how you can find me is you go to instagram.com/forward KeKe's Talk, which is KeKesTalk. All right, so that's how you can find the podcast. All right, so now we do have I have a KeKe's Talk podcast page. All right, so definitely follow that page. I would truly appreciate it. Also, I do have a website that you already knew about, but I also decided to get have a link tree. So the website is linktr.ee/forward KeKesTalkPodcast. Sorry. So basically, Linktree Kiki's Talk podcast. All right. So that's the website. When you go to the website, you will be able to find the actual website, the main website to Kiki's Talk. But also, I take you to links as far as the Apple Podcast. If you do have an Apple phone, you'll be able to listen to different episodes. If you are an Amazon Prime customer, then you'll be able to listen to Kiki's Talk episodes that way as well. If you are Audible, like if you pay for subscriptions with Audible, then you'll be able to listen to Kiki's Talk as well. But I believe so, yeah. And then of course Spotify, same thing. And then also I have my apparel clothing, so you'll be able to purchase clothes if you want to check out some different outfits. If you you could definitely check it out, right? Also, I have the link to Medium, so you'll be able to follow me on Medium. Also, I have my Kiki's blog news, which is my blogs is on that website, so you can check that out. So yeah, just definitely check that website out. I actually appreciate it. All right, so now I'm gonna move forward. I just wanted to state that before we go any further. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and play this training. I want you guys to listen. Hopefully, you'll find value in this video training here. All right, and I probably definitely put this video also on Kiki's Talk Facebook page. So again, if you're not following Kiki's Talk Facebook page, definitely follow me over there. You just go to the search bar if you do have a Facebook account. Type in Kiki's Talk, which is KeKesTalk, and I promise you'll find me. Follow and like that page. I truly appreciate it. But also, I'm going to try to make sure I post this video or upload this video onto the page, so that way if you want to just go directly to the video and actually visually see it, you can. But also you can find the video on YouTube if you just go to Lunch and Learn. Just type that in the search bar on YouTube and you will find it. I promise you. And it's the one that, again, that says Melina Givens. All right. So now if it's the play, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to play this so you guys can actually hear this. All right. And this video is actually 54 minutes long. All right. So I'm going to let you guys listen. I'm going to be quiet.
So, don't think too much in cases. I never want to give too many accolades or say anything too much in case it's part of your training, but just know I love you inside and out, and thank you, my friend.
Jennifer, that's so funny. You didn't know that it was you didn't know it was a silent retreat. That's so funny. I love that. Well, you guys, thanks so much. Actually, I feel like it was like, when am I going to get to teach on Lunch and Learn? Like, I love the Lunch and Learns. My people love the Lunch and Learns. And I was like, I really wanted to call me like, Jennifer, can I be on? And then you called me. I'm so excited and always so honored to teach for any director, nationals, and teaching the consultants, directors, the Reds. I just am always honored because it means that you believe that you trust that I'm going to say something that is going to help somebody. And so I love this company. I'll share just like the quick version of my story. And then I'm going to be talking to you guys today about my favorite topic to teach on. That's what Jennifer was asking. What do you want me to teach on? You're like, oh, whatever you want. I'm like, oh, good. This is my favorite topic to teach on. And that is about mindset, because this 6 inches right here is going to determine everything. This 6 inches right here is like the rudder on a giant cruise ship. You ever wonder how these giant cruise ships float through the water and the captain is navigating, but there's just this tiny little rudder on this huge ship. And that's kind of how these 6 inches work right here. So I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about mindset and that kind of thing, and knowing, I was going to say I hope, but I know that these things are going to help you in your business and also life. And when you can change your thoughts, you can change everything. There was one time when you can control your emotions, you can control your paycheck. I was like, that's true. When you can change your thoughts and you can monitor what you're telling to yourself, because we talk to ourselves all day long, right? So when you can really kind of get in control of those thoughts, you can change a lot of stuff. You can make a lot of great things happen for yourself, for your family, for your business, and impact generations of people. Okay. So I've been in Mary Kay for 29 years, actually August 29th, made 29 years since I've been in Mary Kay. This is actually my second time in. So I joined originally under my mom. My mom joined when I was 13 years old. She was a single mom of 4. And I would help her with, putting her orders together and, filling her reorders. When her boxes came, I would unload her products, all that kind of stuff. And she would give me my free lip gloss or, whatever I wanted in return for that. And then when I turned 18, she was like, oh, I want you to be on my team. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I told her no for a couple of years. And then I joined the business while I was in college, my junior year in college at UCLA. And I was doing really, really well with it. Just focusing in on the skincare. I got to Red Jacket and all that. And then when I was 22, I was getting ready to go into my last quarter of college, my senior year. And my mom passed away. And it was just 6 months after she had told us that she had a terminal illness. Actually, I was at seminar. And right after we got back home from seminar, she had us meet with her doctors. And they told us about this illness that she had. And it was terminal. And my mom had just earned her car. Okay. So she had picked up her, keychain at seminar for her car. And she was in DIQ. And so we get back and she tells us she has this terminal illness and doesn't know how long. They had given her about 2 years. They had given her about 2 years, but we got home and she was working in DIQ, worked through times she wasn't feeling good. And she became a director on November 1st. So that was July. She became a director November 1st and she passed away on December 28th. And so before she passed away, there was one night I was in the hospital with her and I she said to me, she's like, Manina, you have to take this business and run with it. Like, you've got to run with it to the top. So I was like, I will, Mom. But then after she died, I got out of the business. Like, I couldn't even function. Okay. It's like, I cried every day for like 6 months. I couldn't function. And I graduated from college. I quit Mary Kay, not really on purpose, but I just left. I just quit. And I graduated from college. I landed my dream job in pharmaceutical sales. And every single manager wanted to know about Mary Kay. Like, as a matter of fact, I had 6 interviews, and my last interview was with this lady named Lisa. And she was like, okay, I'm your final interview. I just have one question. I go, okay. She goes, I've been using Lancome for 20 years. How would you get me to switch to Mary Kay? I was like, seriously? So that was my final interview. And so I landed this great job. And in 1993, I came out of college making just shy of $40,000 a year. It was like $39,500 and something. It's like almost $40,000 a year. Well, in 1993, that was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm like, I am rolling. Like, I had a company car, got to travel. And I said, I'm going to be here until I turn 65. But God had another plan. Thank God. I'm so excited. So my sister, National Sales Director, Martika Jenkins, is my sister. She just became a national last May of 22. And Martika stayed in Mary Kay while I was out of Mary Kay. And she was continuing to build her business. And she called me 29 years ago on August 20th. And she's like, I need one more person, 2 days before the end of the month. I need one more person to start my car qualifications. And back then they had, I can't remember the term for it, but you could do what you do now. Like, you were able to win your car and become a director at the same time. Because prior to that, you had to win a car first, and then you could become a director. So she was like, we're going to go to something called Direct Line and, whatever. So I go, okay. Like I needed some money, but because I was making great money, and everything was getting paid, but some kind of way, I don't even know how I did this, but I racked up $20,000 of credit card debt at 24 years old. I do not know what I bought. Don't even ask me. I have nothing to show for it. I can't even give you, I can't even show you anything. A pair of shoes, nothing. I don't even know what I bought. So when she called, it was perfect timing, and it was God's timing. And one of the things I love so much about God is that all of the things all the time are working together for our good. Like, he's so sovereign, right? And so even if we make a right when we maybe should have made a left, like, he still moves people, places, things to still get you to your destiny and to your calling for his glory. And so I love that. And so I joined my sister's team with two conditions. Don't be calling me and bugging me, okay? And the second thing was, I just want to make $200 a week so I can just use that to go towards my credit card debt, to pay my credit card debt off. I wanted to be debt free, and I had heard a stat, it might have been from Susie Orman back then or somebody like that, that if you had $3,000 of credit card debt, it would take you like 20 something years to pay it off. And I had way more than that. And I was like, I'm going to be paying this till I die. So I just wanted to use my Mary Kay money for that. So I started off very slow. I would go to my meetings, bring guests to my meetings, and then I also would do one party a week. But the key was I was doing that one party and bringing guests every week. Okay, so that's the key. It's going to be the consistency of it. So I had a 5-month-old. I was working 40, 50 hours a week doing dinners and things for the doctors and all that, and pharmaceuticals. Going to my meeting on Monday night. My husband was in grad school, and I was like, I can only do Saturday. But then what had happened was I began to earn a very consistent $300 to $500 profit every week. I only wanted $200. I was earning between $300 and $500 between my guests coming on Monday and my parties. So I started adding in a little more and a little more. And like, before you knew it, I had earned my first car 10 months later. And then I became a sales director 3 months after that. So I've been a director now for 28 years. On November 1st, it's going to be 28 years. And I cannot even tell you guys, this journey has been so amazing. It's been up, it's been down, it's been all around. But I'm so happy that I said yes. Because like I said earlier, you have the power within you to not only impact yourself, your family, the team you're on, the unit you're in, the national area you're in, or if you're not in a national area, you're in the Mary Kay national area, and the company, you have the power to impact like thousands and thousands of lives. Like my mom's one yes has led to you know, a national sales director and $1 million director, and soon to be national sales director. I'm an elite executive right now. So my sister and I are working to be the first African-American sisters to become national sales directors in the 60-year history of Mary Kay. And so that one yes back then that, you know, I mean, like, I'm never doing that or whatever, and my yes then, you know what I'm saying? So your yes can make all the difference in the world for so many people. So I've loved my journey, and I encourage you guys to really embrace your journey, because like I said earlier, all of the pieces of your puzzle are coming together. Okay. So I know people lately, I've had a lot of conversations with people because there's so many changes in the world, and it's like, everything's falling apart. And I said, try looking at it this way. Everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. It doesn't matter if it seems like it's falling apart, but it's not. It's coming together. So you see just that one shift in how I'm speaking, that it's coming together. My life works, and people, places, and things work around it. I say that to myself all the time. Y'all, I work my business Monday through Thursday now. Of course, I've been full-time for a long time now, so I work Monday through Thursday. I don't even work on the weekends. So for those of you guys that are like, I don't want to work on Saturday, you don't have to, okay? My life works, and people, places, and things work around it, all right? So I'm going to kind of jump into this, and I talk a little bit fast. Thank God this is recorded. Thank you, Jennifer, that this is recorded. But I want to kind of give you guys just like a picture. So I'm going to start off. I like to talk about puzzles a lot, okay? Because I want you to think of like a jigsaw puzzle. So let's just say you have a jigsaw puzzle. One of my offspring directors, Contrella, she loves jigsaw puzzles. She does like the 1,000-piece ones in like 2 weeks. She bought me one time. I was going to, I think I was earning the trip to like London or something. She bought me a puzzle, and it was like 500 pieces, and I was working on it for like a month, and she came over and finished it in like 2 days. She was like, girl, let me just finish this. When she came over and finished it. So when you buy a jigsaw puzzle, think of the box. So let's just say you buy a jigsaw puzzle, and it is a picture of sunflowers, okay? When you buy the box, it has a picture of sunflowers on there. Do you even once doubt that when you put that puzzle together, it's going to look like the picture on the box? No. You don't go, I wonder if when I put this together, it's going to be some yellow roses, or if it's going to be a rainbow. You don't wonder, you don't question, because you have a clear picture of what is on the box. Now, as you start putting the puzzle together, you have sometimes, like most people, like will put the edges together first, or maybe you group all the, Contrella taught me some tricks. So she said, you want to group all the colors together, or whatever it is. So you have some little things that you can do, and you're putting these edges together, and you're like, oh, this looks like it goes there. And sometimes the piece looks like, this looks exactly like this shape. It should go here. And you're like trying to force it, and it doesn't fit, okay? Because that piece doesn't belong there, all right? So we are like that. We are like that puzzle. Like we are just us, just in general. There's different pieces to us. There's different things that are going to come across your path, different people, different experiences, and all that, but it's all coming together, okay? So I want you to just remember that. Get that vision. On another note, let's talk about using that same type of vision for what it is that you want in your business. And also think about, what is it that you want outside of the business? Because I have found that a lot of us, and I've done it, we get so caught up on achieving what's in the business. Like, I want to be a red jacket. I want a car. I want a director. But what is it outside of Mary Kay that makes your heart beat? Like, what is it outside that gets you excited? A couple of hours ago, I was on the phone with one of my consultants, Mavis, and I talked to her a couple of weeks ago about this, kind of a little bit about this topic. And I said, Mavis is one of my top consultants. And she's doing really great. And I feel like she was, kind of at a place where she's just like, I need a win. Like, I need something more. And so I said, Mavis, let's forget. Let's not talk about red jacket. Let's not talk about director. Let's not talk about this national area coming in. Let's just talk about you. Like, what is something that you could get really, really excited about? Is there anything you want in your life, or you want to do or be or have, or anything like that? She says, well, I've been thinking about, I would love to remodel my bathroom, my master bathroom. We've been here at my house for a long time. She lives in Michigan. She said, I would really love that. And I said, well, what if we focused on that? So she said, okay. So I said, well, first, you want to know, like, what kind of bathroom do you want? I said, do you have Pinterest? And I said, do you have the Pinterest app? She said, yeah. I said, I want you to go on Pinterest and I want you to just create a little board. Pinterest is kind of like if you don't have Pinterest, it's kind of like you can create kind of vision board. You can create anything. Like, let's say if you're, going to be having a special birthday party, you can look on Pinterest for ideas and you can put them onto a board and it'll save them in a certain place. So I said, I'm going to have you create a board that's for your master bathroom miracle makeover. Okay. So start doing that, getting ideas. And then I want you to contact some contractors, ask around, ask your friends, ask for referrals. And I want you to have a contractor come over and give you an estimate. And so we had this conversation about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this morning she called me and I said, Mavis, I said, how's it going? What steps have you taken? She says, I'm so excited. We had a contractor come over. It's going to be expensive. I said, yes, I'm sure. I said, are you excited about this? Are you scared? She said, no, I'm actually excited. So I said, okay. I said, so let's talk about how we're going to get that. I said, are they, is there a certain pay schedule and that kind of thing? She said, yes. I said, okay. So she told her husband, I told her, make sure you make yourself accountable to your husband, Michael, and let him know that you want to contribute X amount or whatever it is to this remodel. So she was so excited. So I gave her some ideas. I said, what do you need, in order to get the money for this? Now let's look at in Mary Kay, how can you do that? I said, do you have leads or do you need leads? She said, I need some more leads. I said, okay. I said, well, I gave her this idea of something that we used to do a long time ago that I actually am doing again now with, I don't know if you guys know about the wooden roses. You can do it with anything, but with the wooden roses, I'm just doing like my card and a little thing for teachers. I'm going into schools and just asking how many people work in the office or how many teachers or whatever. And I'm just leaving these roses with my card and like a discount for their first order with me, so with my website and all that kind of stuff. So I gave her that idea. She was ecstatic. Like she was like, oh my gosh, like I remember I used to do that too. And like, okay, I'm going to do that. So do you guys see how like just focusing on something outside of Mary Kay will get you to your goals inside of Mary Kay? So I know that that's going to get her in front of people, which is going to make her money, which is going to give her confidence, which is going to make it easier for her to recruit. Hence, she will end up in a red jacket in a car and a directorship and on the stage with us in our national area. Okay. So think about like what it is that you want outside of Mary Kay or inside, whichever way you want to look at it. And I want you to see it as the puzzle piece, as the puzzle. The other thing that's important about the puzzle is on the box, it's already finished. So it's super important to see your goals, whether outside or inside of Mary Kay, as already complete. Okay, so I'm going to use an example inside of Mary Kay so that you guys can get this. And what I'm talking about now and referring to is the visualization of a goal and using your imagination of a goal before it ever even happens. Now, I've done this for a very long time because my mom was in Mary Kay and she poured into us like it was all Mary Kay principles and sayings and quotes, but I didn't know that then. Like she's like, whatever you believe, you can achieve, whatever you think about, you bring about. Like it was all of that, but I didn't know that that was for Mary Kay. Okay. I just knew like there was nothing that I didn't think that I could, there was nothing that was impossible to me as a kid. My mom was a super positive mom and it was because of Mary Kay. I know that now. So we couldn't use words like, I'm going to try to do something or I might, like, it was like, no, you're going to do it. Like, so even with me going to UCLA, I only ever wanted to go to UCLA or UC Berkeley because my grandparents lived up north in Northern California, but I only ever wanted to go to UCLA from the time I was 9 years old. I went on a field trip with my school and I wanted to go there. And so I applied to 2 colleges. I didn't know you were supposed to apply to more. And my mom didn't go to college, so she didn't know. Like, so I applied to both schools and got into both. It never dawned on me that I would not be going to UCLA. I had dreamed about it and talked about it. And my mom, from the time I was a little kid, she'd be like, I'm 12 years old. She'd be like, you only got 6 more years before you move into the dorms at UCLA. Like, and then it'd be like, I'm 15. You only got 3 more years. You're going to be moving into the dorms at UCLA. So do you guys see how she was painting this picture for me? And I didn't know any different. And so I'm telling you to do that same thing. So when you are focusing on goal, let's just say you want to earn the new Chevy Trax, the car. Okay, or let's just say you want to become a sales director. I'm going to have that. Let's talk about that. So let's just say you want to become this sales director. you got to see it first before you ever even get there. My $1 million year, I saw it. I mean, when I tell you guys, I saw it. I had alarms set in my phone to, like, even now to this day, it says visualize the chessboard. Now I'll explain that. So there's a show on Netflix. Great show. It's like a little mini series. It's probably about 6 or 8 episodes. It's called The Queen's Gambit. And it's about this championship chess player, and she just grew up, had a really rough upbringing, but she grew up and whatever, and she became this championship chess player. But from the time she was little, she would, before she went to bed, she would look up at the ceiling, and the ceiling in her mind turned into a chessboard. And she had never really officially learned how to play chess, but she eventually ended up getting a coach and all that, but she would always see her moves before they came. And if you talk to any, you think of like the athletes, Kobe Bryant, like how he would shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot from the time he was like a little kid. And so during my $1 million year, I would see myself just kind of moving across the chessboard of Mary Kay to that number one spot, and we ended up being the first runner up. So I had no goal. I just had the goal to do million and finish million early. And every day and every night, and multiple times throughout the day. So every day and every night before I got out of bed, I would see myself and I would hear it in the $1 million Circle of Excellence from the Mary Kay National Area. Manina, get it. Like, I would see that. I could feel it. Like, I would put myself in the space of it. I could feel the lights on the stage, like the heat. If you've been on the stage, like those lights are hot on the stage, right? I could hear, I put myself in that place every morning before I got out of bed and every night before I went to sleep. Okay, so I saw it. So it's super important to see it. So if you want to be a sales director, do you have a picture of yourself in a sales director jacket? If you don't, find a director in your area, go to marykay.com and find a sales director and ask her what size she is. Like, girl, I need to borrow your jacket. Like, okay, so I need a picture. Okay, if you want to earn the car, have you been to the Chevy dealer? Have you sat inside the car? Okay, which brings me to the next point, not only visualizing it, but verbalizing it, okay? And then internalizing it. So I'm going to kind of go to those 3 things. So when you're internalizing it, that means actually adding the feeling with the vision, okay? Okay, so that would feel like if you went to the Chevy dealer, or if you want to win a Cadillac, go to the Cadillac dealer. Sit inside of it. I've done this with the Escalade. Okay, my sister has the Escalade. Like, I've done this with the Escalade and just sat inside of it and felt the leather on the steering wheel and sniffed in the smell of the leather. So, like, go to the Chevy dealer, sit inside of a Trax, feel it, touch it, find, look at the controls for the, for the radio station, visualize, like, what stations am I going to put on there? Am I going to put some smooth jazz? Like, all of those things add feeling to what you want. So if you're wanting to be in the court of sales, you want to earn the diamond rings or whatever it is, you want to add the feeling with the vision. So that's like internalizing. I want to go back to vision a little bit more and talk about using your imagination with that vision and like the importance of it, because the imagination ties, it all kind of goes together. So it's tying the vision with the feeling as well. So think back to when you were little. And you would, and I know I have lots of stories, but I love telling stories to help people, to help you get the point across. So my best friend when I was little, her name was Tonette Jaramilla. She was Filipino. Her mom made the best food. They had the best parties. Like, oh my gosh, like I remember going next door. She took piano lessons. I took piano lessons. I love Tonette. And so on the side of her house, she had this bush. It was like a bush, but it had these big leaves on it. And so we would pretend when we were little, like we go, let's make tacos. So we would take, like I had these little pie tins from Marie Callender. So that was our pots. And then those leaves were the taco shells. And then we would put dirt with water and the mud. That was the taco meat. Okay. Like, and then there was these little berries on another little bush next to it. These little like pinkish color berries. And those were like the tomatoes. And we would pretend and make tacos and be like, those are so good. We wouldn't eat them, but we're like, no. Do you remember how your imagination worked? Like, nod at me. Like, do you remember like how your imagination worked? But as we go through life and we have experiences and those types of things, sometimes that imagination, like, just kind of, it dims, it dulls. So I want to challenge you to, like, get into your imagination and, like, just think about all the things that you can be and do and have, and just have fun in there. And so I still do this, you guys. Like, even as a top director, I've been in a Cadillac for 23 years, since 2000. I've been a Cadillac director, $1 million director, on trips all over the world, diamonds, all that. I still do this with becoming a national. Like, I visualize it. I have, and I don't know if you guys know what mixed tiles are, but mixed tiles, you think, oh, it's like this. Oh, my thing. Let me undo this. I was gonna say it's like this. This picture of me and my sister. So, but mixed tiles are. I'm gonna show you. So mixed tiles, you can get pictures done. So it's like this. So you can get pictures done. And so I wanted to start seeing my directors a different way. So I asked all of them. I was like, I know you guys all have pictures in front of a Cadillac. They did, from seminar, from leadership. So I got mixed tiles done of all of my offspring sales directors, and they're right in front of me, because that's how I see them. I see them in Cadillacs. I see myself going to their Cadillac pickups with, like, pink confetti and, like, balloons, and bringing them roses and, like, the little satin thing that they used to put on the cars. I saved mine, okay? They don't do that anymore. They put a bow on it. But I saved mine so you can reveal it. And so I play in my imagination all the time, because it's so fun in there. It is so fun in there. And this is how you'll know that you are really visualizing, you are imagining, you are internalizing, because you'll get to a place where you literally, like, have your eyes closed and you literally are, like, smiling. Like, I can see myself on the stage and, like, giving my speech. And I've started writing my speech, my national speech. Now, I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know the exact date that it's going to happen. I have an idea, right? But I don't have the exact date. You see what I'm saying? But I know in my mind, it's already finished. And so when you work from a finished place, when you decide that it's finished, then guess what God does? Shifts people, places, things in your direction. People, places, things in your direction. And you have all these serendipitous moments, and you just know that it's God. It's God guiding your footsteps. Many times you'll ask, well, how is it going to happen? How is it going to happen by then? I know there's some of you on here right now that you are working to get to Fort Worth. You've heard the saying, you are worth Fort Worth. You want to be there as a director. And now they've announced that the DIQs can come, right? So you're like, I want to be in DIQ on October 1st. And you're like, well, how is that going to happen? How is it going to happen? You don't have to know how. I keep this sign in front of me at all times. This is on my computer. It's in my car. I have it in my bathroom. I have sticky notes. How is not your business. We don't know how. We don't know. Like, you could plan everything out. How many of you guys have done that? You plan everything out the way you think it's going to go, and it totally happens a completely different way. You may not have even met your next recruit. Your next superstar. She might be at your party this Saturday. She might be on your Zoom event tonight. We have a Zoom event tonight. She might be on there tonight. She could be the one that changes everything. Like, she could be the one superstar. I remember, like, I was at the end of my DIQ. Oh, the reason I'm telling you this is because the how is not up to you, okay? All of the hows will be given to you. All of your instruction will be given to you. So all you have to do is listen, get quiet, and listen for your instruction. When you get those little ideas, go here, go there, call this person. Idea to do the roses or do whatever. God brings something back to your remembrance. You want to act in that moment, because the instruction God gives you is anointed in that moment. If he's telling you call somebody, somebody's on your heart, it's like reach out to that person in that moment, because that's when that idea is anointed for you. And everybody's how to get there, how to get your 8, to get in the gate, how to get your 24, to walk through the door. All of those, everybody's going to be different. So you got to listen for those hows. So I remember my last week of DIQ, I needed 7 more people. I didn't know where it was going to come from. I think I had about 8 or 9 days left, and the month was ending on a Friday. I didn't know where it was going to come from. I was doing my part. I was like, let me just focus on what I control and booking and all that. And I was driving one day, And I heard, go to Kinko's. Kinko's? Why? I don't need to make any copies. Okay. It wasn't FedEx Kinko's back then. It was just Kinko's. Go to Kinko's. And I was driving on Sepulveda in El Segundo. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I hear, go to Kinko's. And I'm like, okay. I make a left and go to Kinko's. Walk into Kinko's. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm here. I look to my right, and there is the most beautiful woman of life. She was so pretty. She looked like Anita Baker. Her name was Michelle Keiko. And I walk over to her and I said, I have got to give you my card. She said, what do you do? I said, I'm a consultant with Mary Kay. I'm a beauty consultant with Mary Kay. And I've got to give you my card. I said, you are gorgeous. I would love to have you to, I would love to connect with you and, that kind of thing, whatever. So I had invited her to an event. She came to the event. She signed up. On that Sunday, the month was ending on Friday. So on Sunday, I did her first party for her. And at her party, she had, 6 or 7 people there. I sold $600 for her. And I said, whoever stays after, I did like a quick little, my story, but I told them what I was building. I'm in qualification to become a director. I know you don't know what that means, but whatever. I had already earned my car, but I was in qualification to become a director. And whoever stays after, I'll give you a full-size shower gel or lotion of your choice. Back then we had, for those of you, if anybody's been in as long as I have, we had stress-free, sea level. We had like 4 different body care items. There was a purple one, a green one, a blue one, and an orange one. Okay, that's what I remember. So I'll give you your choice. And I had a basket with these shower gels and lotions. So 3 women stayed after. And 2 of those ladies signed up that they had already bought. They signed up that day. The third one didn't, and they both did 600s, by the way. When I went over inventory with them, they both did 600s. The third lady didn't sign up, but she said, my daughter Janine would be so good at this. And so I said, okay, give me her number. I'll call her and see if she can make it to our meeting that was the next day, which was on Monday. So Janine comes to the meeting. I call her. She's okay. She comes to the meeting. She signs up at the meeting. So now Michelle has 3 people on her team. Okay. And back then we could go to the distribution center, which wasn't that far from me, and I could pick up starter kits at the distribution center. So I told Janine, I said, I'm going to go to the company. I'm going to get your kit tomorrow, and I'm going to do orientation with you tomorrow night. Can you come over to my house? She did. She came over, got her kit, went through her kit. I go over inventory with her, y'all, and closed a $3,000 Diamond Star order. Now, I had never closed a Diamond Star order before. And she says to me, she goes, do you need my credit card right now? I said, yeah, I do. So she gives me her credit card number. She leaves. I put her order together, put the order in. Now Michelle has 4,200 wholesale in and 3 team members. She's a red jockey. Okay. So I called Michelle and I said, Michelle, I said, back then we only had to have 4,000 to go on target for a car. So I said, you can finish your first month of car qualifications. You need 2 more people. So on Wednesday, her mom, Ruthie, signed up. On Thursday, I can never remember the name of the other girl that signed up, but it was another girl that signed up. And they both did $220. Well, it wasn't $225. It was $180 wholesale was the minimum back then. So they both did minimum orders. On Thursday night, remember I told you I needed 7 more people. That was 5 of them. On Thursday night, I go to my mother-in-law's house, and my father-in-law was like, Joni, we need some tax write-offs, so you need to sign up. He said, you should sign up. My mother-in-law signed up. She did a 600. And on Friday, which was the last day of the month, my sister-in-law called me and she said, do you still need 1 more person? I said, yes. She said, I'm going to sign up. She signed up and she did a 180. If I had not listened to that little bit of instruction, go to Kinko's. If I was like, Kinko's, I don't need any copies, never mind. But when you hear that still small voice, listen to it and follow the instruction, because the instruction is anointed in the moment. Okay. That was a side note. That wasn't even in my notes, but back to visualize, verbalize, and internalize. So you're visualizing it. You are verbalizing it through speaking, right? And faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so who do we hear the most? In addition to the Holy Spirit, in addition to God, like who do we hear the most? Ourselves. We are talking 24 hours a day to ourselves. So you want to be careful of what you are speaking to yourself, which I was kind of referring to in the beginning, like the way that you say things. I want you to start paying attention to what are the most dominant thoughts that you're having. What are you speaking? Because whatever your most dominant thoughts are, that is what's going to play out. So not only what you're speaking to yourself, but what are you speaking out loud? What are you speaking to others? Start paying attention. Are the words coming out of your mouth, are they in line with what God told you? What's coming out of your mouth, is it in line with God, with what God told you, with the vision God gave you, with who he told you, like he's called you to be? Like, is it in line? Begin to pay attention and I want you to begin writing down like those limiting thoughts, those negative thoughts that are coming into your mind up here, and just begin just noticing them. Before you know it, you are going to not only start noticing them, but you're going to begin to correct yourself. And before you know it, you'll be correcting your kids. Like what my mom would do. She'd be like, nope, no, try. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. I just told a consultant that yesterday because she was like, I can't. I said, well, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. Because whatever your most dominant and predominant thoughts are is what projects into your life. Think about a slide projector. For those of y'all that are like of my age, okay. Remember slide projectors, okay? So if you're younger, you might not. So a slide projector, it's like a carousel. It's round, and there's a light that goes out of it, and the images flash onto the screen or the wall or whatever. When we were younger, like when I was in elementary, we had slide presentations, right? So whatever slide you drop into the projector, that projector doesn't go, I'm not showing that slide, I don't like it. That projector projects out whatever you drop in there. And that's how our subconscious minds work as well. And so now this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, what I'm about to tell you. But it's true. Even if you don't know it's true. I know for you, from some of you, some of these concepts are new, but there's some things you don't know, and you don't even know that you don't know them because you've never heard of them, or the concepts have not been in your realm of thought. But wherever you are in your life right now is a reflection of what you have been thinking. Whatever situation, I remember me hearing these first concepts, and I was like, not in a good place when I first heard these when I was in my early 20s. And she says, wherever you are right now, you've created it. And I go, no, I didn't. Like, this is what I'm thinking to myself. No, I didn't. But the more I began to learn about our thoughts and what we think about, we bring about, and all the things that Mary Kay even taught us, and all the things that are in the Bible, there's power in death and life is in the power of the tongue. All the things we speak, these are biblical principles that God has given us. Is be careful with what you speak. Because you can speak, and your subconscious doesn't care. It's just going to give you, it's almost like a genie in a bottle. Whatever you wish is my command. Your subconscious goes to work. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. All it knows is what you tell it. So you want to be telling yourself the right things, okay? So that the right words, so that the right thoughts are coming out, so that what's projecting onto your life is like these fabulous things that you want. Okay, that's why I started off with the visualizing and the verbalizing and the internalizing. And I'm ending with this, with your thoughts, because your thoughts are critical. And I want you to even just now, like when we get off, I just want you to think, what is my most dominant and predominant thought? Then if you're working to go into DIQ, have you been freaking yourself out going, oh my gosh, it's the 21st, we only have 10 more days. I don't have enough time. You have enough time. You have more than enough time if you can manage what's up here. You have more than enough time. Let me give you a little trick. So whenever you are tripped up in the time, like we only have 10 days. Tomorrow I have 9 days. Do not freak yourself out like that, okay? I want you to work in, and my sister taught me this, and I've never heard anybody else use this term. I don't know where she got it or if she made it up. She taught me this when I was a consultant. She said, I want you to work in day-tight compartments. Day-tight compartments. So today is the 21st. It is Thursday. What can I do today? that will get me closer to my goal. Some days you may need to just sit quiet and wait and get your instruction. Some days you have days that you have your instruction and you need to like put that instruction in motion and not wait. But I would ask myself every morning, what am I doing today to get closer to my goal? What is my instruction for today? And at the end of the night, I ask myself, what did I do today? So you should be able to answer those two questions for yourself. And again, sometimes, I know you guys have felt like this because I have felt like this. You know how we'd say like God speaks in that still small voice that I was talking about. When you hear that small voice, don't you want to go, well, dog it, God, well, can't you talk louder? Like, why does it have to be a still small voice? But it's because like God wants us to lean on him. He wants us to need him. And if he gave us the whole picture, like, hello, we wouldn't need God. If we knew the whole plan, we wouldn't need him. And he wants us to need him. So I just imagine, this is how I imagine God. So I imagine like we see everything like linear, like this, like what's not happening and what's like we see stuff this way. And I believe God is up going, like I believe when I was driving down Sepulveda that day, I believe he's like looking down going, go into Kinko's. She's there. Go make a left. That's what I believe. That God is there. He's trying to guide us and, help us. And so he wants us to need him. So pay attention to your instruction, verbalize it, visualize it, internalize it. I have alarms in my phone that go off every day. Several different ones. Like I'll tell you guys this. I have two that are actual alarms. Goes off at 12:30 and 5:30 my time to stop. It literally says stop and visualize the chessboard. And so I see like, just kind of moving across the board to where I want to, where I'm getting to by this end of this this seminar year. And that same thing goes off at 5:30. The other thing I do every morning before I get out of bed, you know how like when you're in that state where you're just about to wake up, but you're not all the way up, like before your feet hit the ground, and just take like a couple minutes here, like, like because I know Mike Strong does a lot of the announcing at seminars. So I hear Mike's voice and from the Martika Jenkins National Area, Manina, so hear yourself. Okay. If you're working to become a director, now we have a stage call. Well, all of our brand new class of 2024 directors and their seniors make their way to the back of the stage. You know what I'm saying? So visualize it, verbalize it, internalize it. And then in between there, I have in my calendar. So in my calendar, it pops up as an appointment. So I have one that pops up every morning that says, love myself first. Like give myself some love, give yourself some grace. Maybe you had a day where you didn't do anything or a couple hours or whatever. It's okay. You can take breaks. You do not have to work this business 24 hours a day to be successful. You really don't. Honestly, the more you tune into God and are getting your instruction for what you are doing, what he wants you to do, the less you kind of have to work because he's giving you specifically what to do. Just a thought. I have another one that says, I accept that good things come to me easily. That goes off every day at 3 p.m. That pops up on my, like it's an appointment. I have another one that says, everything shall be as I expect. Everything shall be as I expect. So what am I expecting today? When I go to the mall, I expect there to be a parking space. I have been doing this since I was 16, since I started driving. I just did it on Saturday night. I mean, when I tell you, I always get a fabulous parking space because I always do. I go, oh, my parking angels, they're going to find my space for me. Like, tonight I'm going to the Beyonce concert. No, I had to prepay for a parking space for the Beyonce concert. So they don't have, my parking angels are off work tonight because I have a prepaid space. But in general, I'm like, oh, let me drive to the front because I know there's going to be a space there. Okay. So I get what I expect. And I want to leave you guys with this. It takes a lot of courage to function and move like this. It takes a lot of courage to want to learn more about yourself. It takes a lot of courage to recognize that you have maybe been speaking negative, or maybe you haven't quite believed, or maybe you have believed and then you start doubting, and you're excited and then you're afraid. But guess what? Like, fear and faith cannot occupy the same space. Think about that. Being fearful and excited, when you're scared and when you're excited, don't they both feel like butterflies? It both feels like butterflies. Think about being scared, you have butterflies. Think about being excited, you have butterflies. So choose. Whenever you feel scared, whenever I feel, even at this level, this is what most successful people don't tell you. Even we have doubts. Even we get scared sometimes. But I'm going to take those butterflies and I'm going to choose. And instead of being scared and being like frozen in that fear, I'm going to say, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm going to a new level that I've never been at before. I've never been a national, so, you know what I mean? I do have a sister that just became one, so she's able to help me, but this is my journey. So I have to listen to God for my instruction and my way and who he has for me. And it's the same for you. And so I want to end with this, I don't know if it's a quote or a poem, but I remember hearing National Sales Director Emeriti Jackie Swank say this, and I love this. I love Jackie Swank. She's retired now. She's been retired forever. But she said, and I always say to myself, make believe you're brave. The trick will take you far. You may become as brave as you make believe you are. You guys, you can do this. These 6 inches will determine everything. Have $1 million day. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing, friend.
Y'all, what did you think of that? Oh my goodness. Didn't Manina, she threw out nuggets, y'all. She threw out the nuggets, she threw out the gems, but she gave a phenomenal speech, and she honestly gave a lot of wisdom. I feel like she did. And again, didn't y'all hear how authentic she is, how transparent she is, and like she said, she believed in telling her story, and by her telling us her story, and this her experiences and what she went through during her business journey, y'all could hear how it was not easy peasy lemon squeezy for her. Like, she went through struggles, y'all. She went through them, right? But she didn't let that dictate what her life was going to be. She didn't say, oh well, since I can't accomplish this and I can't do this, then that's it. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm not going to even try. No, she kept trying. She kept going. She kept going, y'all. When she wanted to become a sales director, she did that. She did not let that stop her. She kept going. She kept going, and where she was able to become a sales director. So if you didn't get anything, get this. Visualize where you want to be. That's what she was basically saying. Visualize where you want to be. Visualize it. Once you visualize it, then make it happen. Put those pieces together to make that happen, y'all. But only you can do that. No one else can put your pieces together. Only you can put your pieces together. All right. So hopefully y'all you liked it, today's episode. Hopefully, and hopefully you can take a lot of things and take it with you and be able to use that to help you be successful in your business journey. At least I hope so anyway. All right. So I'm going to end it. Thank y'all so much for listening to today's episode. And I promise you I will have another episode for you guys. All right. Stay blessed, and I love y'all. Bye. Hey everyone, it's your girl Kiki again. So I believe in, like, when I say things or my pronunciation is way totally off, I believe in correcting myself. That's just a pet peeve I have, which I don't think it's a bad pet peeve to have, but I do have it. All right. And I believe in being, like, if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I believe in, if my pronunciation, if I pronounce something incorrectly, I believe in trying to correct myself. And, that's what I believe in. So anyway, when I was, previously, when I had, when I was reading my blog, y'all, and I said Shaskos, I think it's what I said, or something like that, but it's chaotic. And to be honest, when I was reading, and I'm up here reading, I sometimes, I'm so overwhelmed, and I think nervous is the word. I'm nervous. And so I think that has a lot to do with why sometimes I pronounce things incorrectly and wrong. So I think that's what it is. But anyway, I'm going to reread my introduction of my blog, and then from there, I will close out. I just wanted to make sure I add that into this in today's episode. All right, so here we go. So my intro is: it's the glue that holds everything together. It's the S factor that separates winners from losers. It's consistency, the most valuable trait in any business, especially direct sales. Being in an industry as chaotic as this can lead to losing sight of what you need to do next. And when you can't move forward, neither can your company. Learn why mastering consistency is so crucial and how you can start doing it today. All right, so that was my introduction. I hope you like it. Apologize with the mispronunciation with chaotic. Okay, that was the word. I think I said Shaskos, so it's not Shaskos, it's chaotic. All right, so sorry about that. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I promise you I will be back with another episode. Until then, love y'all. Bye.